Hello, my dear student. Welcome back to my economics class. How are you? Hope you are fine by the grace of Allah. Today, I will discuss about chapter 8. Our topic is the democracy of Bangladesh and the election system. Lecture 4. In the previous classes, I have discussed about the democracy and the political parties, objectives of political parties, and role of political parties. Today, election system of Bangladesh and the national parliament. At first, what is election? The election is a process through which representatives are elected from the candidates of different parties in order to govern the country on behalf of the people. Or the election is a system through which the adult and eligible citizens of the state elect their representative by casting their votes as per their own choice. Now, who are voters? The citizens who have legal rights to vote or enjoy the dignity to cast votes are called voters. And all voters in a body are generally termed as the electoral body. And there are some conditions to be a voter. That means one who wants to be a voter, he or she must be 18 years old or above, must be permanent resident of that state. 3 number, an inhabitant of the election area, and must not incense and was not declared bankrupt by any court. We already know that indirect democracy is present in Bangladesh, isn't it? That means people of Bangladesh cast vote directly and elect a representative for running the state administration. During the time of election, the whole country is divided into specific areas for the sake of electing representatives. Each of these area is called constituency. There are 300 constituencies in our Bangladesh. Like Pabna Sodor, the constituency nong 72. Shatia, constituency nong 68. So like this, there are 300 constituencies in Bangladesh. Now, already you know that there are two types of election held in Bangladesh. In the previous classes, that means in standard 7 I have explained, 6 I have explained, that is there are two types of election, that means local level election and national level of election. So in Bangladesh the parliament election is held at national level, isn't it? And there are two kinds of electoral system in different countries, such as direct election system and indirect election system. In Bangladesh, direct election system is present in practice. Now, what is direct election system? So, in the direct election system, the people or the voters, they directly cast vote and choose or elect their representative. Okay. Now, indirect election system. So, in this indirect election system, the elections are held in two states. At first, suppose we know that there are 50 states or provinces in USA, isn't it? So, especially where there are provinces in a country, the indirect election system is present over there. Okay. So, suppose in USA there are many states. I will show only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 provinces here. Just see, just I have given the example here. So here at first the voter, this is the first step. So in different states, the voter, they at first they will cast vote and choose this representative. Okay, so voters, they will cast vote and choose the representative. Here also the voter cast vote and choose the representative. So like this in all states, at first the election will be held, and these representative, elected representative, are called the electoral college. These elected representative are called electoral college. Okay, and this electoral college, again they will cast vote and choose the final representative, that means president of USA. So like this, the president of USA is elected in this indirect election system, and in our Bangladesh the presidency is also elected in this system. This is the picture of our national parliament. So there are total 350 seats in our national parliament. Among them, 300 representatives, that means there will be male plus female, are elected by direct election, and 50 reserved seats for women who are elected by indirect election. So in this case, the citizen, they will cast vote and choose the member of the parliament. Okay, and this member of the parliament, they again cast vote and choose the president, or they will cast vote and they will choose the female members of the parliament. So that we can tell that is the citizen of Bangladesh, they are indirectly choose this president or female members of the parliament. So it is called the indirect election. Now you will watch one video on election.
Thank you. Thank you.
আমি বিশ্বাস করি যে বাংলা জনগণ আমাদেরকে নৌকা মার্কায় ভোট দেবেন এবং আরেকবার তাদের সেবা করার সুযোগ দেবে, যাতে আমরা আমাদের যে সমস্ত উন্নয়নের কর্মসূচি হাতে নিয়েছি সেগুলো আমরা বাস্তবায়ন করে বাংলাদেশকে, এখন বাংলাদেশ উন্নয়নশীল দেশ, এই উন্নয়নশীল দেশ হিসেবে সামনে এগিয়ে যাবে।
কেউ যায় না, পিছনে যায় না, সামনে আগায় না।
দেখেন একটু স্যার আমাদের দিকে স্যার একটু ভি স্যার একটু ভিক্টর দেখেন স্যার
ভি দেখেন স্যার, একটু ভি দেখেন
স্যার একটু সামনে সামনে থাকে স্যার ভি
আমি টেলিফোনে বলেছি সবাইকে যে তোমরা যেসব দেখছো এই অভিযোগ আমাকে যেমন পাঠালে, ওখানে যারা কর্মকর্তা আছেন, রিটার্নিং অফিসার, তার উপরে যারা আছেন তাদেরকে দাও, পত্রিকাকেও দাও। তো আমরা তো আপনাকেও দিচ্ছি, আর যেসব এগুলোকে একত্র করে আমরা অবশ্যই এটা নির্বাচন কমিশনকেও দেবো, সরকারকেও দেবো।
Thank you everybody for watching the video. Now, Election Commission. Have you heard this name? In Bengali, it is called Nirbachan Commission. The institution that organizes and arranges the elections is called the Election Commission, or in short, EC. The Election Commission consists of one Chief Election Commissioner, that is CEC. We have heard this word in television, isn't it? And several commissioners also. All are appointed by the President. They serve the commission for 5 years. At present, K.M. Nurul Huda as the Chief Election Commissioner of Bangladesh, and on February 6, 2017, he took oath as the new CEC on February 15, 2017. This commission holds elections as a separate, independent, unrestricted, and neutral institution. Now, you will read about the duties and responsibilities of the Election Commission. Number 1, making and updating the voter list, conducting all elections and by-elections, demarcating, that means fixing the constituencies, setting up polling or voting center, allocating the election symbols, preparing the code of conduct, printing the ballot paper, and making the ballot box. 9, smooth imposition of code of conduct, taking votes and declaring the result, dissolving the election feuds, that means disputes, appoints the required number of returning and polling officers for holding the election, appoints presiding, assistant presiding officers, sorts out the nomination papers fed with the Election Commission, and EC declares the time for holding election and the election schedule at the same time. This is the picture of Election Commission, that means Nirbachan Bhavan, and this is also. Now, electoral codes of conduct, that means নির্বাচনী নিয়ম কানুন, okay, or নীতিমালা. The code of conduct to avoid malpractice and manipulation of any kind in the election process. To ensure free and fair election, the Election Commission has, under Article 92B of the Representation of the People Order in 1972, formulated the Code of Conduct for the observance of political parties and the contesting candidates. The noticeable features of the Code of Conduct are the following. Number 1, to compliance with the electoral rules. That means all concerned shall comply with the electoral rules and regulations accordingly. Second, the interdiction of payment of any subscription, grant, etc. to any organization. Following the announcement of the election schedule till the day of polling, no candidate or any person on his behalf shall openly or in secret give any subscription or donation or make promise for giving such subscription or donation to any institution of their concerned constituency or to any other institution, nor shall commit to undertake any development project within the concerned constituency. Number 3, the electoral campaign. So here, number 1, All political parties and candidates shall be given equal rights with respect to election campaign, meetings, processions, and election campaigns of the opponent shall be disturbed. No mass meeting causing impediment to public passage on any road or highway shall be held without the permission of the proper authority. If someone impedes meeting or procession, complaint against that person before the police agency. The candidate or his supporters shall not be taken any action against law. No political party or candidate shall be entitled to use any government leaflets, vehicles, or to receive help from any public officer or employee or any national opportunity. 5. Posters, leaflets, or handbills belonging to any candidates shall not be replaced by the same of any counterparty anyway. 6. No electoral camp can be set up on the passage or road anyway. 7. No government bungalow, circuit house, rest house, government officers shall be used as a place of election activities for any party or candidates. On the occasion of election, no loss or damage of land, building, movable or immovable properties of any citizen. 9. No candidate can use of printed paper imported from outside the country and use of multicolored posters, use of number of microphones at a time. 10. All concerned shall abstain from wall writing in any form. 11. No candidate or supporters can use of motorcycle or any other mechanical transport or any other mechanical transport carrying of firearms or explosive within the premises of a polling station. 12. No illegal interference of government officers or local influential persons in the election process. 13. No procession of buses, trucks, or any other vehicles or torch procession. 14. No one shall say any bitter or provocative statement and any such statement that may hurt the sentiments of the followers of any religion. 15. Crossing of limits of election expenses, influences of money, arms, muscle, power, or local influence shall be forbidden during election. Now, I will discuss about the penalty for electoral crimes and codes of conduct. At first, electoral crimes are offenses. So, during the election times or before or after, there are many crimes are held. So, here at first, to violate the rules relating the election expenses, to receive any bribe from any candidates, to cast false vote or with pen name, to influence the election unfairly, to collect votes forcibly or to cause bar to voting. 5. To exercise any false play concerning the personal character of a candidate or any of his relations calculated to adversely affect the election of such candidate. To make or publish a false statement relating on the withdrawal of candidature by any candidate. 7. To call upon or pursued any person to vote with the distinction as to a particular religion, community, race, caste, sect, or tribe, etc. Number 8, to compel any voter to leave without casting his vote, to treat unlawfully, violation of prohibition imposed on meeting and procession is an corrupt crime. 11, spoiling ballot papers or boxes intentionally or removing the same elsewhere, forging ballot paper, capturing or pulling booths, and causing any obstacles to electoral, etc. Now, the penalty for offences. A person who is guilty of such corrupt practices is punishable with rigorous imprisonment for a term which may be minimum 2 years and maximum 10 years, rigorous or non-rigorous punishment with fine. But no suit or case may be filed against the electoral officers in charge and employees without permission from the Election Commission in writing. So, everyone, dear my student, this is my last class on this chapter and I have finished your second term syllabus also. And this is very important class also, okay, and important chapter also. During the watching video, you must relate with your book. In the next class, I will discuss about creative question. And you must memorize all points which I described in my class. Okay, everyone. So, up to this, stay at your home safely. Thank you.